It has never been a better time to achieve all of your goals, not just in life, but also especially in fitness and nutrition. And today's sponsor, Factor, has you covered. Factor is an incredible meal service, my personal favorite one, and does a fantastic job at blending all kinds of great types of food options, including calorie smart, high protein, chef's choice, keto, and so on. The food they deliver to you is fantastic. It's high quality, it tastes great, it's low on waste, it's everything you want with a service like this. I've used them through all aspects of my current fitness career. I've used low calorie, I've used them for bulking, and I've also used them for maintenance when I just want to have some delicious meals that are ready to go in minutes. So to get started on your fitness goals, go ahead and go down to the description to factormeals.com/Bricky and use code Bricky50 for 50% off your order. Link in the description, factormeals.com/Bricky, and use code Bricky50 for 50% off. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. Years ago, I was mainly an Android user. The Google Pixel actually was my personal favorite phone because the camera was really good, and I mostly used Google products and emails for everything I did. So it felt like the obvious choice. I soon realized that by utilizing an Android, I shot myself in the foot in regards to dating. And as a beta soy boy cuck gamer Californian, not having an iPhone was really going against my nature as a human being. After swapping, I was trying to find ways to make my productivity higher. I tend to have a really difficult time remembering tasks. I know I have to deposit a check I just received, but unless I write it down or do it immediately, I'll go do another task and totally forget about it for the rest of the day. I eventually discovered the reminder section on the iPhone, which allowed you to create fun little bullet points, and then when completed, just tap them so they disappear. I immediately, from there on, after learning of a task I needed to complete, would put it in the reminders, not just tasks, but video ideas. What did I do? I got a little drunk. Funny jokes I could add. Damn, I haven't blown like that since grade school.
Oh.
Or college.
Oh, I was muted.
College,
Same.
not stream events. He's a menace to society, I guess. Oh my God, someone gave $50. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll just type it in because I had it in a dream. Then completing that task, tapping that reminder and seeing it disappear, made me realize I am a goldfish-brained bitch, and watching number go up is absolutely how I want to live my whole life until I die. I love number. I love number get big. I watch number go. Task complete, number up. Click, click, tee hee, pee pee, poo poo. It's fucking amazing. So my friend walked up to me one day and told me, why did you shit on my floor? And more importantly, why haven't you played Vampire Survivors yet? And finally, Christmas came at last, and so did I. Vampire Survivors is another game that has those three lovely phrases I've grown to enjoy so dearly. Indie, solo dev, overwhelmingly positive. It was released back in October of 2022 and is a combination of action roguelite, bullet hell, and number generator game with a pixel art style. The premise is extremely simple. You pick a character, enter a world, and do your best to survive until 30 minutes. As enemies spawn, you kill them using the automatic attacks your character has, and then gain XP to level up and unlock more items and upgrades for your character. This continues until you realize you have incorrectly labeled the game. You assumed in that it being a bullet hell, it would be a bullet hell against you. No, you are the bullet hell. Oh. If you're looking for a larger, more in-depth explanation, I may need to disappoint you because that is the general gist of Vampire Survivors. The game is the most shit-pants toilet gameplay type game you could possibly get. It has almost zero actual interaction from the player. The entire system is passive. Every attack you gain is completely on its own, and so upgrading them just makes you more powerful while also at the same time doing absolutely nothing but move your character and select your upgrades. It's kiting and getting more insane over the course of 30 minutes before you are killed and sent back to the main menu. But then you might ask, well, what is the reason to keep playing them? Because the guy who made this game originally had a job making slot machines, and it fucking shows. When you play through Vampire Survivors, you get coins, and when you get coins, you can unlock permanent upgrades on the main screen. These upgrades then make way for more upgrades, which then makes way for more progression, and it doesn't fucking end. It's no wonder I love this game so much. It is the definition of progression, and I am a whore for progression systems in my video games. It's why I bitch about them in like every video, because it starts off like innocently enough. You say, ooh, I'll play as Antonio. He has a whip. Whoosh. I like whips from that other vampire thing.
You must be the Belmont.
Then you survive for probably around 8 to 9 minutes before dying and then going back. Then you see the power-up section and say, ooh, I would love a little more damage resistance. And by then it's already too late. The game has its hooks in you and the brain rot has seeped in. Because now you play again to reach a certain minute threshold to unlock another character, which then gets you more gold to unlock more upgrades, which unlocks more stages, to unlock more characters, to get more upgrades. And oh goodness me, it's 3 a.m. and the library theme won't leave my goddamn head. This still wouldn't be enough to sell me on the game, but every match you play does end up feeling a little different based on how you go through your build. For reference, in Vampire Survivors, you have weapons and passive items. You can only hold 6 of each, and for the most part, there is no swapping them out. Now, let's say you get the magic wand. It fires projectiles at enemies around you randomly, and they lock on. As you level it up, it gets various upgrades, firing more projectiles, reducing its cooldown, increasing its base damage, and so on. However, the magic wand pairs with the passive item, the empty tome, which by itself reduces weapon cooldowns by 8%. So when you max level the magic wand and have the empty tome in your inventory, there will be a chance that when you pick up your next chest, it will contain the evolution of the two of them together. In this case, it is the holy wand, which never stops firing. It halves the cooldown and doubles the projectile speed. This is how you will end up doing a lot of your builds. Most of your items will be grabbed because of the evolution that can be made from it. Spinach gives you extra damage. Fire wand fires fire, and the two of them together makes gigantic meteors. The King Bible, arguably one of the best items, is orbiting Bibles that damage enemies. The Spellbinder increases the duration of your weapon effects. The two of them together creates the Unholy Vespers, which never stops orbiting you. You can see how going from this to this is the natural course of the game. But even with that, there's still tech. For example, your character you pick has a passive bonus. Some get more damage as they level up, some more XP, some more projectiles. So you can think on that when you pick on your build. Eventually, you will gain Arcana cards. These are special bonuses that give you all kinds of insane upgrades throughout the game. Awake gives you 3 revives that increase your power every time you use them. Mad Groove drags all items every 2 minutes around you for easy pickup. And my personal favorite, Boogaloo of Illusions, constantly increases and decreases your area size of your attacks by 25%, but gains 1% each time you level up. So who really cares if you have negative 25% aura when you're level 100 and have 100% increased area anyway? Yeah, I won't complain with my 75% area increase. Thank you. And if you thought I was done, if you thought there was nothing else between the permanent upgrades, the characters, the arcana, and the evolutions, let's just add golden eggs to it, you know? Additional permanent upgrades that you can get for singular characters by either killing some fancy enemies in game or buying them off a merchant. And if you still thought I was done, well, the map often contains various items that just kind of chill there and relax, because you can pick them up and guess what it doesn't count towards? Your 6 passive slots. So you can go extremely overboard with your skills if you so please. And this This is just scratching the surface. We haven't discussed the bonus maps, the additional character concepts, the super evos, like getting both of the birds to turn into the rainbow bird. Sorry, Karen, gay pride is over. It's time for gay wrath, and the giant AC-130 rainbow vomit in your face will prove that. There's the adventure mode, there's all the DLC content, there's so much to do with this tiny little $5 game, and it just never seems to stop. But what I do not want to gloss over, what I do want to take the time to discuss, is the most important addition to a video game in all of 2023. Forget Baldur's Gate, forget Alan Wake, and all the other titles of the year. Forget what you even know about the life and living. Forget even the other DLCs in this game. No, we have to talk about the emergency meeting DLC. It shouldn't surprise any of you that I am cringe. Because of this, I find Among Us to be absolutely hilarious. Yo, look at him go. Look how angry he is. I don't think you understand. Like, I've reached this level of post-irony that I haven't with everything else. I really like Among Us, and I find it so funny because it's not funny. Everyone else thinks that Among Us jokes aren't funny, and that's why it's so fucking funny to me. So when I heard about the Vampire Survivors Among Us official DLC crossover, I was there day one, and it is absolutely ridiculous to say this out loud, but the way they incorporated Among Us into the game is just really impressive. I bought the DLC for $2, $2 whole, and got a whole bunch of new crewmate characters, weapons, passives, and maps. And the ingenuity they added to this sussy little DLC is more than the last 3 Call of Duty games. For one, the individual crewmates mostly have similar passive abilities to the other characters in the game, but they have amazing visuals to accompany them. For example, the shapeshifter Mogus actually shapeshifts into other Among Us lookalikes throughout the game and can get dead Mogus corpses to increase their health. The passives are tiny little metal crewmates that follow you around and do little mini weapon attacks like Santa water and knives and so on. The imposter character has a really great hide and seek running animation from the game, and it even has a special Vampire Survivors version of that theme song. But the icing on the cake, by far, are the new weapons. You have Report, which is a little megaphone that fires in a forward-facing line. But Report evolves with the mini crewmate, which actually consumes the crewmate, which is great because it gives you more passives. But you get Emergency Meeting, which picks one of the enemies on screen and just kills them instantly. It is such a cool looking weapon. You have Lucky Swipe, which is a big card smack attack that actually gets more swipes the lower your luck is, which evolves with the Mini Engineer into the Crossed Wires mini game, which is the wire crossing game from Among Us, but it damages enemies on the screen. You have Sharp Tongue, which is the imposter tongue, but when it evolves, it can become the Impostung, which is the kill animation look on the strongest enemy in its path. The best one, by far, is Just Vent, which mixes with the mini shapeshifter to become Unjust Ejection, which uses a side of the screen to pull all the enemies into space and kill them. And it even tells you how many are ejected. How did they get so incredibly creative with all of the aspects of Among Us to not only create a fantastic DLC offering, but one that is very powerful in game? And I can't believe I'm fucking saying this, but creating one that's so faithful to the source material of Among Us. It's unfathomable how much brain rot this game has given me. It will not leave me alone. If I have the time, I play Vampire Survivors. If I'm traveling, I play it on my Steam Deck. This is the best Steam Deck game ever made. Nothing compares to how good this is on the deck. It's the perfect travel video game. It completely consumes my free time and still finds a way to destroy my bitrate. It is completely unsurprising that it was made by a guy who developed slot machines. And considering how quickly he was able to get me addicted to this kind of game, it terrifies me to think of the science that goes into making real slot machines and how exploitative they must be. This game keeps me up at night. It tears at my psyche. It won't leave me alone. Glowing recommendation, 10 out of 10, Brickle seal of approval. Everybody should buy Vampire Survivors. 2023 is over. 2024 is right around the corner. It has been a fantastic year, but I genuinely think 2024 is gonna hit even harder. We're primed for some crazy, fun content and ideas, and I am extremely excited about it. But more importantly, before we end the year, I have one final thing I have to say. Among Us. I'm out of here.